Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOL FTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001, booking the invasion angle, and tonight we'll be running Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Survivor Series. So I guess this is kind of like the fallout from Survivor Series in some sort of way. We are in the final month of 2001 officially now, as we are heading now into Monday, week 1 of December. So I personally am excited for the end of December just because every year in Total Extreme Wrestling we get to see the end of the year awards. And even though we haven't done a full year, it'll be interesting, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Let us just head into the show as we now get the book forward to Armageddon. We do have a couple of pre-show matches before we open up the show. We have our first pre-show match that gets a 49 D+ rating here. We're back in America, by the way, at the California Staples Center. We have a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat as Head Chop going over the team of Ray Steele and Chad Coiler, two developmental stars in our company, and 5 minutes 46 seconds when Funaki defeated Ray Steele with the Fisherman Buster. Of course, Al Snow was head and shoulders above everybody else, which is to be expected, to be honest, and he really stood out, as he had a 64, Funaki with a 51, Chad Coiler with a 24, and Ray Steele with a 16. Funaki's improving in technical, and Chad is improving in flying and performance. So Chad over here, he's got a little bit of promise to him, to be honest. I mean, a 24 is nothing to write home about, but he's an opener. He's got a 24. That's something we can mold, I believe, and with popularity would grow. Ray Steele, on the other hand, with a 16 is a little worrisome, I'll be honest. Either way, though, as we move on to our next pre-show match, which gets a 39 D- rating here, and an abysmal pre-show match, Daphne going over Lexi Fife in 6 minutes, 2 seconds by submission. Here's the interesting here, though. Daphne, or a pretty vocal crowd, didn't seem particularly thrilled to see Daphne wrestle, which I'm not entirely sure what that means. I mean, she's not a bad in-ring worker, so yeah, I don't know why they would be so against Daphne. If you guys have any or ideas why the crowd would be so against Daphne wrestling, let me know in the comment section there below, because that's interesting. Either way, though, Raven is doing some good work ringside. Actually, he is the manager of Daphne. If you watch Survivor Series, Daphne made her debut by revealing that she and Raven are now a thing now, I guess, or something. Some sort of group together. She is also getting better at his gimmick. Now, that could be something. I think if their gimmick is not risky enough or whatever, they kind of don't like it, but I don't really know. Either way, though, Daphne with a 40, Lexi Fife with a 29, so nothing to write home about there from Lexi. But Daphne's not bad in the ring, so I wonder why the crowd just doesn't like her. Negative crowd reaction, which that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below. Either way, Lexi's improving in performance. By the way, if any of you don't wonder who Lexi Fife is, she's just some local talent I borrowed for tonight. And we go to our, apparently Lexi Fife debuted a new comeback spot that got the crowd buzzing and her psychology would be helped. Okay, that's good. As we go to our main event of the pre-show, which gets an impressive, not that I didn't expect it to get this, but an 81 solid B rating here. Probably doesn't deserve to be on the pre-show, but, you know, I didn't get any of these 4 men on the show, considering Angle and Booker T are probably going to just be a Nitro feud, while Ron Simmons and Bradshaw just didn't have anything for them right at the moment. So why not throw them together in a tag team match? We have a good pre-show match here. Kurt Angle and Bradshaw going over Booker T and Ron Simmons in 12 minutes, 35 seconds when Kurt Angle defeats Ron Simmons with the Angle Slam. Bradshaw with a 73. Kurt Angle with the best in-ring performance of the night, or in the match, I should say, with a 92. Ron Simmons with a 74, and Booker T with a 91. So a point difference between rivals here tonight, as Booker T is just 1 point behind Kurt Angle, and Bradshaw is just 1 point behind Ron Simmons here. Also, Booker T is improving in performance. We move on to start off the show, Nerds and Geeks, with a 100 A-star rating After Survivor Series video package ends, recapping the whole pay-per-view, Monday Night Raw opens with The Game, Triple H's music playing, as he and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley make their way down towards the ring. All the while, JR and King question why Triple H even returned last night to help out Team WWF and his father-in-law. Once in the ring, Triple H then takes the mic and he says, "Surprised to see me? I bet a lot of you are surprised to see me. In fact, I bet a lot of you thought I'd never show my face in the WWF again after I lost to Rhino. But that's how this industry works. Sometimes it's not your night, and other times it is. But Rhino, mark my words, you and I aren't done." But back to what I was saying, a lot of you are wondering, or were wondering, if I'd ever come back to the WWF, and I'll be honest, I wasn't even sure myself. But that's when I got a call from my father-in-law, and he asked me to join Team WWF. And you know what I said to him? I said no. And this is the part where a lot of you are probably scratching your heads, because if you watched last night, then you know I was out there in the War Games. But I said no. And then that's when Vince started begging me, pleading with me. "Please, Hunter, please, I'm all out of options. I'm all out of options. This is last minute. Test was attacked. I'll give you a title shot." And then that's when I finally interrupted him, and I agreed to join Team WWF. You see, it wasn't to defend the honor of the company. It wasn't to defend the honor of the WWF fan base. It was all because I was guaranteed a damn title shot, win or lose. So, Rocky, I know you've been listening this whole time. Get your ass out here, and let's start this title match right here, right now, because I'm not waiting. But instead of The Rock's music hitting, Nerds and Geeks, Chris Benoit's music hits, and out comes the 2001 King of the Ring winner, and the man who made Rob Van Dam tap out to win War Games last night for his team, Chris Benoit. And Benoit comes out and he says, Whoa, hold on. You get a title shot for just being in the match? I don't think so. You see, I don't work for the WWF anymore, so I don't gotta listen to your idiotic father-in-law. And if you think for one damn second that I'm gonna let you jump in front of me, then you got another thing coming, because Rock's belt is as good as mine. I'm the one who won War Games last night. And after I beat The Rock for the WWF Championship at Armageddon, I'm going to go and unify both the WWE and WCW World titles at the Royal Rumble and end this stupid war once and for all. Triple H then replies, "Whatever, Benoit. I don't know what sort of fantasy world you live in, but none of that's going to happen. WCW isn't winning this war, and you're not going to unify anything. And you sure as hell aren't facing The Rock for the WWF Championship at Armageddon." And then Benoit just gets, in his face now in the ring, of course. They're in each other's face, and he says, "Oh, you want to bet?" And we're face-to-face now, and that's when, dong, are you scared? He's here. The Undertaker's music hits, and out comes the Brothers of Destruction, of course, the Intercontinental Champion, The Undertaker, and his brother Kane. And Taker says, "You two have got to be kidding me right now. I find it funny how a WCW guy and a man who says he isn't even on either side are arguing like a couple bitches about who gets the next shot at The Rock at Armageddon. If anybody should get a title shot at The Rock, it should be my baby brother Kane, as he's been dominating everybody since he came back. Hell, the pay-per-view's even named after him. But you know what? While I'm sitting here waiting to figure out who's going to go on and face me at Armageddon for this here Intercontinental Championship, you two look like you guys are ready to fight. And if you guys are ready to fight, then let's fight right here, right now." And then Benoit's like, "Fight? No, I beat you?" And he points to Taker, and then he points to Kane and says, "I beat you." And then he turns around and even points to Triple H and goes, "And I beat you last night. The only person I'm fighting is The Rock at Armageddon." And then he goes to leave, and that's when Mick Foley's music hits, and out comes the WWF commissioner who says, "Well, what seems to be the problem out here? I'm missing an ear." And he looks right at Taker, of course, when he says he's missing an ear. And I imagine, Taker just being like, whatever. Of course, that's one of the... It's not the reason why he's missing an ear, but, why not? "I'm missing an ear, but all I can hear is a bunch of bitching and moaning. And you see, Mr. Benoit, and unfortunately, Kane, I can't add you to the title match. That's out of my hands. You'll have to talk to Mr. McMahon about that, but what I can do is go ahead and make a tag team match for tonight, for tonight's main event. You see, Triple H, you obviously could care less about defending the WWF. Let's see how you feel when you team with the guy from WCW, because tonight, you and Chris Benoit will face the WWF Intercontinental Champion and his big red baby brother, the Brothers of Destruction, right here in the California Staples Center in Los Angeles. Have a nice day! And then he just laughs as he leaves, and, Triple H and Benoit are just probably furious and pissed off as we confirm our main event of the night, which will be the Brothers of Destruction battling the weird team of WCW's Benoit and Triple H, who, as Mick Foley put himself, he says he doesn't work for WWF and he doesn't work for WCW. He's his own man. We did have a couple of backstage incidents here. Of course, The Undertaker passing along psychology to his protege, Mark Jindrak, and then Deborah, the wife of Stone Cold Steve Austin, failed to show up for a scheduled road agent meeting tonight. We gave her a slap on the wrist. Deborah got upset with us because I guess she just, she was like, how dare you slap me on the wrist? But Stone Cold, he was happy with it. He goes, yeah, that's right. You tell my wife that she needs to hurry her damn ass up. I'm sick of being late. Either way, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, of course, we already knew they have great chemistry. Don't even know why I brought it up to you guys. Got the show off to a strong start. Crowd is hot. Benoit was very underwhelming, which is to be expected since he's in an angle with 4 people, or not 4, I guess 3 people and a guy based on Menace. Great on the mic. Taker was good. Rock and Triple H's storyline started here, and we also have a question mark storyline that started. We move on to our next segment of the night, which gets an 84 B+ rating here. RVD, he's already in the ring, nerds and geeks, and he's ready for his number 1 contendership match when out comes Chuck Palumbo and Stacy Keibler. Of course, the number 1 contendership match is going to be for the Intercontinental Championship. Just a bit of a spoiler here. And RVD is in this match, as is Chuck Palumbo, and Chuck Palumbo and Stacy start making their way down to the ring while Stacy takes a mic, and she says, "Aw, poor Rob Van Dam. You just keep getting the short end of the stick, huh? First you had all the pressure of the entire WWF on your shoulders when The Undertaker chose you, an outsider, to represent the WWF last night in War Games. And you choked last night, literally, when Chris Benoit made you tap out. And now just because The Undertaker likes you, you're getting a shot at earning the number 1 contendership for him, or to face him, for the Intercontinental Championship at Armageddon. Just too bad for you that your opponent just so happens to be Chuck Palumbo, a man who is very pissed off after being screwed at the United States Championship last night, and the same man who is about to beat you and go on the Armageddon and beat The Undertaker for the Intercontinental Championship and allow him to finally rest in peace." That's when RVD takes the mic as well, and he says, well, okay. Well, tonight, I'm going to show everyone that Chuck sucks. And he just tosses the mic down as Chuck Palumbo's pissed because RVD told him he sucks. And we get our match started as the question mark storyline continues to move forward here, and the crowd gets hotter. Interesting. Didn't expect the crowd to get hotter, but we go on to our opening match of the night, which... Okay. I got a little worried there because I saw an injury, but I'll be honest with you, nerds and geeks. A 78 solid B? Now that I did not expect. And a decent match here, a rather surprising. I expected maybe a C+, B-, not a 78B here. Rob Van Dam going over Chuck Palumbo in 7 minutes, 49 seconds with the frog splash. Unfortunately, Rob Van Dam suffered a retrose nose, which I'm not entirely sure what that means. You know what, we're gonna do it live, nerds and geeks, and I'm gonna Google what the hell a retrose nose is right here. But while I'm doing that, allow me to continue going over the match here, as RVD had the superior in-ring performance with a 74 over Chuck Palumbo's 73, just a 1-point difference between the two, which kind of makes me, my faith in Chuck Palumbo go up a little bit here, since I was starting to have a little bit of worriedness from him, but this kind of restores a little bit here. So a retruse nose is fine, but the nose... okay, never mind. I don't know. I guess that was someone saying that they liked retruse noses. I guess it means turned up, so Chuck Palumbo hurt his nose, and now it's turned up like Allie's is, or Cherry Bombs, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm assuming. Ready, let's see. Hey, RVD suffered a retruse nose in this match. We then move on to a rating here, nerds and geeks. Almost said A star, but an A rating here with a 90 as a car pulls up and out comes the WCW United States Champion Christian, alongside his mentor and best friend, Chris Jericho, as both start heading down the hallway, and Christian says, "So what's on the schedule tonight, boss?" And then Jericho says, "Look here, Christian, I'm your friend, not your boss. But anyway, on tonight's agenda, we're going to go out there and we're going to remind these stupid idiots exactly who the man is around here, along with sending a message to Greenberg in the process. Plus, we still got to introduce the world to the next Chris Jericho. Now let's go. The people await." Just a quick little transitioning segment, I guess, in between commercials here, as Jericho looked good, and Christian's also learning to show more charisma. If you guys watch Survivor Series, Jericho cost Edge and Palumbo, that's why Palumbo was pissed, the United States Championship when he aided Christian to victory, and then revealed that he wants Christian to pretty much be his protege, and Christian accepted. As we move on to our next segment here, with another A rating here, with a 94 Nerds and Geeks, Chris Jericho's music hits, and out comes the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, alongside his new protege, the United States Champion Christian. Once in the ring, he takes the mic and he says, "Welcome everyone to Raw is Jericho and Christian." Now, ladies and germs, in case you missed Survivor Series, allow yours truly, the sexy beast, to tell you what happened. I mean, we could talk about how The Undertaker choked in War Games, or we can talk about Team WWF's Game Over replacement, but that's neither here nor there or important. You see, I told Christian that last night they were all going to be talking about me, and they were. Greenberg, I know you make your debut on Nitro this week, and knowing you probably didn't watch last night, and you aren't even watching tonight. But I'm sure the word will get to you that Chris Jericho is looking for you. And when I get my hands on you, you're going to get. But before he can even finish what he's saying, Nerds and Geeks, Edge's music interrupts him, and out comes the former U.S. champion, now probably some Rob Zombie theme music, just to, show him and Christian are officially split up, I guess. And Edge says, "Get what, Jericho? What I got last night? Jumped? Because Christian, I had your ass beat until this Jericho got involved in our business." And then Jericho goes, "Look here, Edge. You think I give a damn about your stupid match last night? Because I don't. And neither does Christian. You lost, so just tuck your tail between your legs and walk away knowing who the better brother is. Besides, I got bigger things to deal with right now. So anyway, as I was saying, sold out Berg." And then Edge goes, "Hey! You're not just about to ignore me like I'm not here." And then Jericho goes, "Yeah, I am. I mean, what do you want anyway, Edge? An autograph? A Fig Newton?" And Edge goes, "A match. With you, to be more specific." And he tosses the mic down and he starts heading towards the ring. And then Jericho goes, "You want a match against me? Me? Well, you got it. Just not tonight, because you see, I'm feeling a little under the weather, and I promised Christian I'd train with him. So, how about next week?" And then he tosses the mic, and quickly both him and Christian retreat out of the ring through the crowd. Edge is now in the ring. Of course, the storyline gains some heat here between Edge and Christian as we move on to our next segment, which gets a 77 B rating here. Edge is now in the ring, like I said. We have Jericho and Christian. They've already retreated through the crowd. They're out of there. Edge picks up the mic that Jericho dropped, and he says, "While my brother and Jericho are too afraid to face me tonight, I'm still dressed to compete. So if anyone in the back who is looking for a fight, I've got some built-up frustration that I'd like to get rid of. So get down here and face me so I can kick your ass." And that's when a few seconds pass, and then the returning Mike Awesome's music hits, and out comes Mike Awesome to accept Edge's challenge. Did lose some heat to the Christian feud, but that's okay. As we move on to our match, which gets a 78 solid B rating here. Impressive rating, if I'm being honest here. Either way, that just shows that Edge is getting good. 78 solid B in a decent match. Edge going over Mike Awesome in 8 minutes and 6 seconds with the spear. Got a 78 rating. Mike Awesome with a 55. No skill improvements as we move on to our next. Became pretty clear that Mike Awesome was wasted on drugs. It really affected his performance. Well, Mike Awesome, I think you just got fired. So we move on to our next angle here. Just a freestyle thing because I figured I really didn't need to explain much of what's going on. As we get a A rating here with a 93. Edge just beat Mike Awesome, and honestly, what was probably his last match, Nerds and Geeks, as Chris Jericho and Christian make their way through the crowd once again and jump not the rated R superstar, at least not yet. He's not rated yet. He's the not rated superstar is what he is. Either way, Jericho and Christian attacking Edge, beating him down in the middle of the ring, laying him flat out as they pose over, the fallen superstar now. We move on to our next segment, which has a 100 A-star rating here. Hell yes! The WWF Tag Team Champions music hits, and out comes the Texas Rattlesnake and Rhino. And then once in the ring, and they're also done posing with the titles in the crowd. This is kind of funny. I'll talk about it when we get to it, but I just realized Triple H is in there, and that's not supposed to be Triple H. Either way, though, we'll get to it when we get to it. That's funny. So they're done posing, and then Austin grabs the mic, and he says, Hey, why don't one of you two package meals out there toss me a couple beers? And he looks over at Rhino and says, You want one, champ? Rhino, of course, just says, Yeah, why not? He goes, Well, then pass me two, then. And then they throw the beers to him, and he gets them. Gives one to Rhino, the tag champs, drink some beer together, and then Austin continues going, Don't that taste good? Now down to business. Last night, me and the Human Wrecking Ball, Rhino, beat those two WCW clowns, Canyon and Hugh Morris, last night. And now we're without any proper challengers. So any of you dumb sons of bitches in the back that want to step up, now will be a good time. And then a few seconds pass, and that's when the music of the former tag team champions, Test and Albert, hit, and out they come. Of course, Test is actually officially returned now, after he just wasn't cleared last night to compete, but he is back now. And Test says, You're looking for challengers? And then Albert replies, Well, how about it, the team you never beat? And then Test goes, Yeah, because last time I checked, you two bozos never beat us for those tag titles. And then Austin goes, Bozos? You're the bozo that can't stay healthy. Welcome back, Gimpy. Hold on now, I gotta get to it real quick. And he says, Welcome back, Gimpy. You sure you're able to wrestle tonight? And then Test goes, Oh, I'm sure I'm 100%, I'm ready to go. And then Austin goes, All right, damn, hold on, it's not a race now. Because, they said they're ready to go, they're making their way down to the ring. And Austin goes, If y'all want to see Stone Cold and Rhino defend these here WWF Tag Team Championships against TNA, then give me a hell yeah. And, of course, the crowd responds, Hell yeah, doing their whole thing. And then Austin says, Well, it's a damn good thing I didn't ask for your damn opinion. You think old Stone Cold and the Human Wrecking Ball Rhino give a damn what you people think? You know what? That was rude. I'll tell you what, Test, Albert, about your damn title match. I know it sucks. What? You got injured? What? You hurt your leg? What? Out of action? What? Fact of the matter is, you lost these belts. And if you want them back, and you want them back, I can understand that, but still. Get your ass in the back of the line, because you ain't getting a damn title match. And then Taz goes, Oh, we're getting a damn match, whether you agree to it or not. We just come down there and kick your ass. And then, they go down there, and then Austin's like, Well, bring your mealy ass down here so I can kick your ass. We go into the brawl as they start brawling, and I ran out of space to type in all what I wanted to type in here. But pretty much they start the brawl, and then that leads to Mick Foley come out and saying, You guys want to fight so bad that we were to make this official for the, tag title. So even though Austin didn't want it to happen, it happened. And we're getting a tag title match right here, right now, here in the California Staples Center for the WWF Tag Team Championships. I said that like millions of times. Anyway, the funny thing here at Triple H is that's supposed to be Trish Stratus. Of course, being part of TNA. And Trish was rated on sex appeal. So that means Triple H was rated on sex appeal. And if you see, Triple H performed poorly in this segment, which means he's not sexy. So that's hilarious to me. I still haven't edited Albert's gimmick. Stupid. Albert gimmick. There we go. Alright, so Albert's gimmick is getting scaled. That's to be expected, but Trish did help both him and Test in the match. Not the match, the segment, I should say. Austin was fantastic. Test underperformed. Albert performed poorly. But that is okay as we move on to the match itself, which gets a solid 77 B rating here. And about that had great wrestling and good heat to it. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rhino this is not supposed to be defeated. This is supposed to be just kind of like draw. So they have a draw with TNA after 13 minutes and 8 seconds when the match was pretty much thrown out after Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner got involved and attacked both Test and Albert and Stone Cold and Rhino, beating them down pretty much and standing over them, posing with the tag team titles, making their intentions clear pretty much. Austin, of course, carried them in terms in the in-ring performance area. Rhino with an 83, he's getting up there. Steve Austin with a 100, Albert with an 80, the weakest in the match, and Test with an 84. It did lose heat to this, but that's to be expected. Albert is improving in performance. I mean, we go to a 77 from a 100. And like I said, Albert's improving in performance. So, good match, guys, as we get started for this three-way feud for the tag titles. We then move on to a 100 A-Star segment here as Michael Cole is backstage with The Rock, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is the WWF World Champion, almost said Tag Team Champion, The Rock. Rock, as I'm sure you heard earlier, as Triple H broke the news that he was gifted a WWF title match at Armageddon against you for joining Team WWF last minute after Test was injured. I was wondering, what were your thoughts about that?" And The Rock goes, "You want to know The Rock's thoughts, Cole? You want to know The Rock's thoughts? The Rock will tell you. You see, Cole, since the very beginning of this war, The Rock has always stood by the WWF side. You know what's true, Cole, but Triple H? No. Triple H only gives a damn about himself. And The Rock knew that there was no way in hell that Triple H would join Team WWF out of the kindness of his heart. The Rock knew that there was a catch, and now The Rock knows. Triple H is still the same piece of crap he's always been, which means he's still the same piece of crap wrestler he's always been, which in other words means The Rock is not only surprised by Triple H's actions, but he's also not worried about Triple H." And then he walks out, presumably to, well, not presumably, I'm going to tell you guys right now, to join color commentary for the main event of the night. Performance of Rock was fantastic, gained heat to the feud. As we move on to our next segment, which just is a hype segment here, pretty much JR and King hyping up that this week on Nitro we will see the celebration from Kurt Angle as he won the World Heavyweight Championship this past Survivor Series. We then move on to our main event of the night, Nerds and Geeks, with an 86 B+ rating here in an exceptional match. The Brothers of Destruction going over Chris Benoit and Triple H when Triple H was disqualified while fighting The Undertaker. So something happened here. I pretty much was imagining just chaos ensuing as Benoit and Triple H and maybe even Ric Flair get in the ring and we just start beating the hell out of the Brothers of Destruction. Of course, we already knew about JR and Jerry Lawler, but Jim Ross and The Rock, which I believe we knew about already anyway, also work extremely well at the announce table together. Triple H with a 93, Benoit with a 92, Kane with a 90, and The Undertaker with a 100. Lost heat for the Rock Austin storyline, or not Rock Austin, Rock Triple H storyline, but that's okay. As we move on to the final segment of the night, which gets a 90, hold on, I almost said 90 A-star again, but I got to type in Triple H's gimmick. I saw that in the corner of my eye. A 90 A rating here, just a freestyle, similar to the Jericho Christian thing. Triple H, Benoit, and Flair all beaten down on Taker and Kane, which leads The Rock to get off commentary, get in the ring, help them out, and chase the three heels out of the ring, leaving the three faces to stand tall to end off the night. Of course, Triple H's gimmick is getting stale, so I'll have to do that myself as well. Triple H was fantastic. Ric Flair looked excellent. Undertaker was fantastic. Kane was good. Rock was fantastic. Benoit was there. As we end off the show to get a 93 A rating here, increasing our popularity in 18 regions altogether. Not a bad rating here. And look here, Pentagon. He is, I believe, the son of real-life wrestler Pentagon Jr. So Rob Van Dam was injured. I don't believe he is going to. Yeah, he's not out. I can tell you that now. Yeah. Baby Truce knows. Good job. Tommy Dreamer's back, though. He finally got rid of that flu. Good for him. And apparently Kishinobu Kamen misses an Osaka Pro Show. Don Fuji is a hot property. He's only 31, too. But he can't work in America, so. Alright here, so Tommy Dreamer's fully fit. Rob Van Dam was injured. Edge is annoyed because he had to work with Mike Awesome. And Test has an opinion saying Al Snow does not connect with the fans. I'm sorry, Tess, but I really don't take your opinions into account. So we have a couple incidents here. Pay raise from RVD. RVD's being paid $7,000. A lot lower than the 17. Have you really gained that much in popularity already? I mean, I have put like a rocket pack to you. Went from a 42 to like a, yeah. I don't know if I want to pay you that much, though, to be honest. I mean, I know a lot of people are always telling me, oh, stop being stingy with your money, but still. If I do anything less, he'll be mad, so I'm going to have to do 75. That way he won't get mad at me. So we have two incidences here. What the hell? Wasted on drugs. Oh, wasted on drugs, that's all. And if we look at the disciplinary log, we sent him to rehab, which, because that was with hard drugs, we don't count well, that's because he also wrestled wasted, but still, either way. We sent him to rehab once. We don't work on steroids. I didn't send him to rehab for the hard drugs, so I could, justify sending him to rehab again. But, you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, Nerds and Geeks. I am. Because I messed up. That's my mess up. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of not really count that as even though I should. But I meant to send him to rehab. So I'm going to go ahead and send him to rehab. And if he messes up again, then he's fired. So Mike Awesome has left for rehab once again. His behavior has improved, and he's happy at this action. I guess we'll just fine him for the next one as well for, wrestling on drugs. Either way, though, doesn't look like Edge is too mad, so we won't have to pay him any money. And we can go ahead and look at some storylines here, seeing where they're all starting out. Alright, I was like, what one's that? Alright, cool. And that's going to be the end of this one, Nerds and Geeks. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I will see you guys for Nitro. So until then, have a good day.